How much is enough, people? This is the question. And Lady Dragon's a firecracker. And to be honest, I'm proud to know her. She's not afraid of anything, willing to stand up and do whatever it takes. We need to at least get as excited. I mean, that's going to make you at least sit up on the couch so you wake up a little bit. Listen to what's going on. Listen, keep your ear to the ground. Yeah, it sounds funny like the Indians, but keeping your ear to the ground means listening up for the fun and games that's going on that might address directly to you. Now, Montreal, I mean, you can't hardly tell it from the United States in terms of the closeness, in terms of the border. A lot of the borders. Ooh, I don't know if anybody's crossed lately into Canada or tried to come back. It's a major problem to get in and out of the United States. What's going on? Well, now, I mentioned the constitutional free zone in a chat room the other day. ACLU website has it. It's 100 miles inland from all of our borders. The Constitution, thanks to the Homeland Security Act, has been, quote, suspended. How many people live within 100 miles of the national border? If you do, you might consider that you aren't free anymore. You are now slaves. They did this intentionally. It was a time delay device in the Homeland Security Act. Now, you have a little bit of an idea as to what they may have in store or in mind for us here. Now, there's one problem with that, and I've explained this before. They got a money problem, a serious one. That serious money problem is such that they don't have the cash to move a lot of people around real easily or come get you and this sort of thing anymore. It is not available to them. So what you're looking at is, you're looking at a situation, this time, it was so unconscionable that the attorneys, the lawyers, legalists came out and said, no. Now, we need to get a combination of that sort of thing happening here. The only way we're going to do that is to talk to people, just like Lady Dragon does. Hey, you going to let them do that to you? Why are you letting them do that to you? They don't have a legal right to do that. Remember, question everything. Believe only half of what you hear, and nothing as to what you see, because somebody might be playing games with you. Don't trust anybody over 30. Well, I'm an old man, and the reason I'm involved in this as an old man ain't for me. I got kids and grandkids. They don't need to go through the horse manure that's going on up there in Canada, here in the United States, or anywhere else for that matter. We need to start getting ourselves together. It ain't got to be some kind of write-it-down organization as such necessarily, but it does need to have a thing called communication. It does need to have people who are willing to give up a little bit of that game, put a little bit of themselves on the line, and say, enough's enough. I'm not going to let you do that to my grandkids. I mean, me, I'm old. I've had my life. But my kids are coming up. They need to be able to ride their bikes down the street without the cops arresting them. They need to be able to walk around at night and not get shot just because they're wearing a hoodie. Now, I'm not going to say that that's what happened in that particular case everybody knows about. What I'm going to suggest is that there does not need to be this kind of animosity between anybody. What should have happened in the hoodie case is very simple. If there's a question, the person that is security identifies themselves as security. Hey, I'm supposed to pull security. I don't know who you are. Where about you going? Oh, I'm going home. Can I walk over with you and make sure everything's cool? No problem. You took care of the whole thing. No problems at all. You do not necessarily have to challenge somebody to find out about what's going on. 99% of the time, a seasoned policeman simply talks to you because he knows that talking to you works. If it works that way, it can work between us. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody in this country needs to get ready. We need to have our stuff together so that we can function as free people. It is coming. Dragon Lady, I'm gonna ask Minuteman to come in and voice his opinions about what is going on up in Montreal, what we should be doing here, and then I want both of you to give me a quickie kind of synopsis of it, and I'd like to make one little more in-run in terms of some information, and we'll go from there. Minuteman?
Well, I just think that's a wonderful thing when people get together and learn to tell the authorities no when their rights are being trampled on. That's what we're supposed to do as a free people. We're not supposed to take it just laying down. And, well, man, I just think that's great to hear that even the lawyers and people like that have even jumped in there. I've seen a few places in I believe it was in Europe, trying to think of where it was, where the police even joined in on the protest and made sure the protesters were actually protected. This is the kind of good work we really need to work for. We need to, like Drake said, you got to get out there and you got to talk to people. We have these things going on in the United States called Occupy Wall Street. And I know a lot of people out there are like, they don't know how to take that stuff. They're kind of caught that they want to believe some of the mainstream media, Glenn Beck, people like that these people are just bad people. They want everything for free. Well, I personally went to some of them here in Texas, and you know what, folks? I found that to be the furthest thing from the truth. You got a bunch of different people there, well, saying different things. But most of the people there are very concerned about their freedom. They just don't know what to do. Now, can you imagine what would happen if all of us that are educated and know what to do went to the Occupy Wall Street rallies and started to communicate with them people in them? I mean, just think about that. What do you think could happen with that? I believe that if you went in there and you communicated right, that you'd bring more and more people to the understanding that unity within the people and being courageous enough to stand up and, like Drake was saying, you ain't got to be mean or nasty about it. Stand up and say, hey, guess what? We want our freedom, but we're going to have it. You're not going to take it away. We're through with it. So, you know, we're going to gather our numbers up, and we're going to show you we're serious. And we're not going to sit and fight with you and beat up your police or anything like that. Be nonviolent about it. Most of the Occupy events I went to, what the militia did in those occasions is we went to the police and to the people both. Went to the police, notified we was there. Heck, we'd help pick up the trash. We'd help them escort people across the road safely. One Occupy in Dallas, there was two opposing factions. One was in the Fed group was there, and the Occupy Wall Streeters were there. And the name-calling started to go across the street. I could tell that the cops were starting to get a little nervous about it. So I talked to the militia members that I brought there. We sent 3 across the street. Those 3 went across the street with their flyers, and they started talking to the occupiers. 30 minutes later, the occupiers crossed the street and joined in the Fed group. Imagine that. Went from name-calling to, hey, wait a minute, we got more in common than what we have that separates ourselves here, and we're not going to make it a name-calling contest no more. We're just going to all join up and sound off in one voice. Things like that are critical to what we're wanting to achieve. And God bless Lady Dragon for bringing us this news and letting us know what's going on in Canada, because Canada, you need to do it too. I know we got a lot of Canadians listening to us tonight, and probably some Australians too. You folks down in Australia, hey, let's get busy. Let's get busy with the good works of freedom. And unity is a must. What a lot of people don't know is I'm going to make a little announcement tonight that I have 2 sites, not just RAM. I've got also a site called the Patriot Unity Coalition. So maybe I should rename that site and call it the Freedom Unity Coalition. And, yeah, look, anybody out there that has sites that believe in freedom and unity and the unity it'll take, well, I'm going to make sure that that address goes out there, because it's got a few guidelines and rules like most sites do that are pretty simple, and basically ask that, you know, number one, we be law-abiding, nonviolent folks, and that we believe in the principles of respect and honor. And I will hope that even I see Freedom Range join in with that, and get some of these sites to come in and start communicating and exchanging their ideas, and maybe we can advance this thing even a little further. And on Drake, I believe I've about touched everything you need me to say there. Was there anything else?
Oh, no, not right off the top. I figured I'd let you run till your motor run down or your battery went dead and see what happened.
Well, no, the battery ain't going dead. My motor ain't running down, folks. I stay fueled up, and battery stays charged. And, well, we got to keep it like that, because, well, the moment that happens, Drake, we're going to sit down. And, well, you know, as much as I'd like to sit down, I'm not, because my freedom ain't in check. For the same reasons you're here, I'm here. I'm 52 years old. I ain't quite what you call a real old man yet, but I'm getting there. And I've got children, too. I've got 2 sons. One of them just got married last Thanksgiving. Folks, it ain't going to be long before I'm going to have grandchildren. You know, I'm looking at all these children running around. I've got a 4-year-old right down here a little ways from me playing with his truck in the dirt. And I'm wondered, you know, what's his future going to be if I don't do something? Like Drake said, we ain't going to get much out of this, folks. None of us that are on the older side of the fence, but, hey, at least we know we have done what it took to make sure this little one right here playing with his truck in the dirt is going to have something good for him. And look at your children, folks. What are they worth to you? My children's worth my life to me. I mean, literally my life. I would do anything to make sure that they stay free. So I guess we'll just kind of end it right there. I hope I've touched on the things Drake needed me to. And, like I say, I ain't done with you yet tonight. We're just going to let Drake get back to his business there. And I've got a couple little subjects a little later on in the show that we'll bring up.
Very good, thank you. Lady Dragon, I asked you if you might have gotten in touch with any of the people that were protesting. Were you able to do that?
No, not yet, but I'm planning to get in touch with them very soon. Like I said, I just received my flyers. I was waiting to receive my flyers. But I have been calling everybody that I've been asking everybody that I know that I spoke with to reach out, and not only with Occupy. I say Occupy from day one, but not only Occupy. I say organization, the Lion organization, Giraffe organization. I don't care, whatever organization it is, the Chess organization. Who cares? You know, you're gonna go get an organization. They say they have 30,000 people. Well, whatever. You know, it's good. You know, educate them. You know, take the president, take the boss, take the one in charge, and then he's gonna go down all the list of the people. You know, it's not only the Occupy, other people too, organization, like you two guys are saying. It's not only one segment of population is affected by this. It's in the entire planet. It's all of us, you know. Doesn't matter where you live on this planet. They're trying to enslave all of us. So, you know, everybody has to do something. You know, whatever you can do, do it.
Okay, for everybody. Now, this is from a lady in Canada. This is a different country than the United States. Not that much different. I mean, they're